NCERT Science Class 6 Chapter 7 Getting to Know Plants. Let us get into the chapter. First, to know about the type of plants, let's see the plants around us. We see plants, some plants are very small in size, some are very middle sized, and some are very tall, right? So, depending upon the characters that these plants have, we are going to classify the plant, or we are going to differentiate the plant into three groups, three types they are, and they are called as herbs, shrubs, and trees. There's one more thing that we have to know, those are weeds. Weeds are nothing but unwanted plants which are grown in the ground, and we don't want them. Usually we pluck them and put them off from our garden. These are called as weeds. Coming to the types of plants, we have to know what is a herb, what is a shrub, and what is a tree. Herbs are nothing but plants which are smaller in size. The stem is very tender. Usually they are very short and they don't have much branches. If at all they have branches, the branches would be near to the base of the stem. Example are the greens that we eat, right, at home. You would have seen smaller plants with a tender stem. These are called as herbs. The next type is the shrubs. Shrubs are also medium-sized plant, but their stem is a little harder. And example of these shrubs are the hibiscus plants that we see, which is a flowering plant. Rose at home, if you have a rose plant, it is a shrub. Okay, so these are shrubs. Then the next type is the trees. Trees are very tall plants which has a hard and thick stem, and these are called as bark. Now these stems might have branches, but branches are unlike the herbs found on the upper part of the plant. They are not towards the ground. These are called as trees. There are other two types of plants, the creepers and the climbers. Plants with weak stems and that cannot stand upright and which grows on the ground are called as creepers. Example, the pumpkin plant, the watermelon plant, all these are examples of creepers. Now, the plants that take the support of another plant or a wall or a rod or a wooden stick and grows upwards, those are called as climbers. Example, the money plant that you have at home, all these are climbers. Now, these two plants are a little different from the herbs and shrubs. We all know stems bear leaves, branches, buds, flowers, and fruits. Now, for example, take a tumbler of colored water and place a small plant in it for a long time. Now, after some time, you will find the stem and the veins of the leaf changes its color. That shows that there is an upward movement of water. Water and minerals go to the different parts of the plant, especially to the leaves in the plant. Stem has two way of traffic. One is moving upwards from the roots in the different parts, and the other one is towards downward direction, carrying food from the leaf to the other parts of the plant. The part where the leaf is attached to the stem is called the PTO. The broad green part is called as the lamina. Broad green part of a leaf is called as the lamina, as shown in the figure. The lines of the leaf which is moving from the middle to the left or to the right are called as veins. There is a midrib, that is a center line running through the leaf. It is called as the midrib. The design of the lines on the leaf is called as the venation. If the venation is in a netted form on both the direction from the midrib, it is called as reticulate venation. And if the venation are parallel to each other, like the plantain leaf or a grass you taken where it is parallel, can you, if you get to look at a grass, look it closely, you'll find the veins on the leaf grass are parallel to each other. These are called as parallel venation. Usually water comes out of the leaf in the form of vapor. This is called as transpiration. To see the transpiration, place a plant in a polythene bag and tie it up. After some time, you could find droplets of water inside the bag. This is done in sunlight. So this shows transpiration in plant. Photosynthesis is another important word or process that you have to learn when you're going to learn about plants. Now, what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is the process of making up of food in a plant. This is done by the leaves in the plant. Now, how do you test that the leaf has made the food in the plant? To do the test, soak a leaf in a test tube which has spirit in it. Then place the test tube in a beaker half filled with the water as shown in the figure. Now heat the beaker till the color of the leaf changes and the color comes into the test tube. Now carefully pick up the leaf, wash it with water, and after that place it in a watch glass. So you can add few drops of iodine. Now it changes into blue black. That shows the leaf has starch in it, right? So it prepares its own food using the green substance called as chlorophyll which is in it, and with the help of sunlight it prepares the food uh, called as carbohydrates. Now preparing food also uses water and carbon dioxide. This process is called as photosynthesis. We learnt about how plants prepare the food. That is over. Now we have to find out what are roots in a plant. Roots are parts of the plant that are found below the soil. We all know that. There are two types of roots that we usually see. One is called as the taproot, the other one is the fibrous root, which we'll see in the next slide. Now, take two plants, one with root and one without root. Water both of them regularly. After some time, you find the plant without the root will not be able to absorb the water. This shows the root is mainly used to absorb water from the soil, which is used up by the plant. Now root is also useful for holding the plant to the ground. It acts like an anchor to hold the plant tightly to the ground. Then for that, if you want to examine that, place some seeds in a piece of wet cotton, it sprouts out, and after you remove it from the cotton, it is not that easy to remove the piece of sprout from the cotton. This shows that the root holds a plant firmly to the soil. As I told you earlier, there are two types of roots. One is the taproot, the other one is the fibrous root. Taproot is a main root and has smaller other roots coming out of it called as the lateral roots. While fibrous roots, there is no main root. All roots seem to be the same. Same way, like the venation we see in a leaf, these roots are related to each other. Now, the main function of the root is to absorb water and minerals and pass it to the different parts of the plant that we saw. The other one is that food prepared by the leaves are stored in different parts of the plant. Sometimes it is stored in the root, example carrot, radish, sweet potato, turnip and tapioca. All these plants, the root is the place where the food is stored. We have learnt about the roots now. Now it is the time to learn about the flowers. Flowers are the dominant colorful part of a plant. Now this flower has different parts. We have to know them, right? It has a colorful part which is visible to us, and that is called as the petal. Now the part of the flower which holds the flower to the branch is called as the sepal. And then we have an innermost part of the flower that is called as the stamen and the pistil. Stamen is made out of anthers and filaments. A pistil is made out of stigma, style and ovary. The swollen part of a pistil is called as the ovary, and when you're going to cut it out vertically and horizontally, that is longitudinally and transversely, we find out the ovary to be resembling as shown in the picture. The structure of the flower is not always the same. The number of petals, sepals, stamen and pistil may differ from plant to plant. Class 6, Chapter 7, Getting to Know Plants. We've completed with the chapter and I think you understand the chapter. Thank you for listening and do please like, share and subscribe. We'll meet in the next chapter.